always forget that this isn't live. And like, okay, you know how your brain kind of plays tricks on you? And it can work for you or it can work against you. Like I always, for example, forget that this isn't live. So when Anthony goes like this to start it,
Yep.
I feel like this immense like pressure
To jump in.
But then it's like not real. It's like the person in the Starbucks bathroom. Like it has no relevancy because it's not real. We're not live. So we can just flow in.
But we are always live. You don't get a second chance at life. That's the truth.
Woo,
see?
I like
so
this.
You're always live. Like it's like, oh, let's do the dress rehearsal. This is the rehearsal,
it's
man.
so true.
You don't get a second chance at life. Like you do. You have to come back. Like, you know, we talked about Grandpa killing himself. I'm sure he's running around somewhere because you just don't get off that easy.
Oh, no, you don't.
You don't. You gotta, there's something that you've got to learn here.
So on that topic, wow. It's crazy. It's like my brain needs to latch on to that idea that went out of my head and it's completely, oh, I know what I wanted to talk to you about. We talk about, I hear a lot of people in the rooms like of addiction recovery talk about, I think they call it like lovingly or jokingly like immersion therapy. Like they go back into restaurants and clubs and then they come back and they provide a testimony of how they were fine and they didn't want to touch drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
And like, a lot of people say with conviction, I think for effect of providing a testimony for newcomers in the rooms.
Yes.
And say, you know, like if it was in front of me, I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't even dream of it. The urge to use has been removed.
That's right. That's right.
But I like to say, I don't know what I would do if there was a plate of cocaine right in front of me. I don't know. Is that honest?
Okay, yes, but you see, you've been in the okay, so let me stop here. Let me think and get my thoughts, because you're right. I need some thoughts here. You're new in recovery. So that's straight up. If someone whipped out his beautiful penis, I don't know what you would do.
I know what I would do.
I know what you would do, okay? And that would be the problem, okay?
You're like, you slept with him? Your face. I was like, Nikki, it's me. It's me. And you're
I know, but go deeper. So you have a change in belief system.
I know.
That's why we're here. So when my boyfriend who's here, you know, we're going to the Caribbean tomorrow and he's here from Luxembourg and he said a little while back, he goes, well, I'm the same. That's how I've always been. Well, fuck me.
No.
This is the worst thing. So you're saying I got the same guy 7 years later that I got on the beach in Cuba? You haven't improved?
You
haven't
said to me
changed?
once, and it was very powerful and it stuck with me. You said to me, don't love me today because I'm ascending every single second.
You better write some Nikki-isms
I'm gonna
down.
try
That's a good one.
I'm gonna start to write them down.
Yeah, like who I am right in this second is definitely, I better not be that person when I come back in 3 weeks from the Caribbean.
And believe me, you fucking won't be because we are ascending, whether it's a little bit or a lot every single day. We're skyrocketing.
So when you say like, I get it to our, and I said that to my sponsor the other day.
Like I'm not gonna blow. I don't know that I'm gonna get the plate of cocaine and like blow it off and be like cured.
No, but the truth is 20 years later, like my sponsor who's been free over 20 years from literally all mind altering substances. I said it would be a cold day in hell before you pick up a needle, slam cocaine and drink bourbon. I said, you'll post some weird things on Facebook. You'll say, I mean, I've heard him use the N-word before, okay? And I said, you're not black. You shouldn't be saying that. Yeah. So he'll do some things that are totally inappropriate, but he will never, because he's had a change in belief system.
Okay, but my point is, and I hear you, and I have had a change in belief system, and I think that I prove that every day. At least to my mother, who's shocked when I do anything that isn't like a bull in a china shop or a hurricane roaming through. She's like, you did what? You cleanly walked out with your jacket on and just like, anyway, she's shocked. So miracles. But what my point is that we're talking about staying in the same environment that kept you sick and expecting to get unsick. So why I'm bringing that up is people in recovery are saying, I went to the club, I went to the concert. Like, I don't go around cocaine is my point, because that's the environment that made me sick.
That's right.
And so, you know, to the layman or to the non-hard substance addict, but everyone's an addict, and that's why we have this show.
Yes.
You're going back to the same relationship.
Oh,
you're
my
going back
God.
to the same toxic
more.
family dinner.
Exactly.
You're too
But they're my family, Jess.
You're too chicken shit to change your career, even though you keep complaining
But
about
Jess,
it.
I have bills to pay.
Okay. Be miserable then every day, because the same environment is going to be just that, the same environment.
That's right. You've done nothing except stop using whatever you're using. You know, like that's what I tell a lot of my friends too. It's like, you're not going to go back and get to that same corporate job. You're not going to go back, Jess, because you need money and spin around a pole. Those days are done. I mean, I know you can drift into fantasy sometimes when that bill comes and you're like, shit, man, I could
dust off the old stilettos.
I know, but those like go in your hearts of hearts. It's done.
It's dark, and I walk in light now.
Yeah, and so those days are done.
Right.
And that's a really hard thing to look at. Like your family, we just said it. I'm going down to the Caribbean tomorrow. We leave I got to get to the airport by 6 a.m. And we were going to stay with my dad.
You're going for a while too.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
This is a dream life.
It's a dream life. 3 weeks in the Caribbean. Like, it's crazy. In Dominica, not the Dominican Republic. Everyone do your research.
Not to be confused.
And go. But I don't have to speak to my dad. Now, think about this. I didn't meet my dad till I was 18. Mm-hmm. Every time I've seen him, I've gone to the island. I've gone there. He's never come to me. We just had a little thing. So I said, okay, I'm not going to stay with him. I'm going to go. I won't see him.
No, what was the thing? He wants you to bring car parts down to the fucking Caribbean, and they're like over
the size of you. He says, can you bring me some car shocks for his Mazda? And I'm like, sure. I'm thinking they're the size of, like, you know, a small child. Yeah. These things are the size of you. And I went to UPS to mail them. They were $1,500. So it's like, no, now I got to get the luggage. Thank God someone gave me a piece of luggage. And because it came from our fellowship CA, I was like, Mom, wipe this thing down. I do not want to be arrested at the border.
CA's Cocaine Anonymous. So somebody from Cocaine. You want to know, quick segue? We did a clothing drive at Cocaine Anonymous clothing drive for Christmas. Somebody donated stuff from the hospital. There were straight jackets in there. weighted vests. I'm like, what are these? People that had been committed before were like, oh, that's a straight jacket. I'm like, okay. So anyway, you got to wipe your suitcase down because we don't know.
I'm going down there. I am gonna take the car parts happily. But it's to what you said. I'm not going to heal in the environment where it's been so sick, which is with my dad.
No.
So I'm going to go down there. I'm actually going to, remember, we're soul surgeons. So I've got to do some soul surgery on dead relatives. I've got to go and talk to lineages. Mm-hmm. You know, my grandmother is a Carib Indian. Those are, you know, Caribbean Indians up from the mountaintops. And so I'm going to go and do some intergenerational healing, some cord cutting. And anybody send this to Mr. Bobby, I never have to talk to him again.
and also we remain flexible, so that could
if it happened again, it could. But do you know how many times, like, once bitten, twice shy? Okay, like, this is now so many times that this man is literally, you said it, you can't heal in the same environment where you have been so sick.
No.
So, and I have no problems with it. It's like, it didn't work out this time. We had a soul contract. Okay. We all were going to come to Earth. My mom, my dad, and me. We all made the agreement. Mm-hmm. And they're going to play the role of the parents. And I said I'd be the daughter this time.
Why does it feel like we are the parents?
There we go. They forgot. You don't think I looked at my mom and I said, Lynn, you forgot. You're playing the role of the mom.
I feel like our moms are at your house right now having whatever tea. Like, when we left your house, like, it's more of a feeling of like, bye kids. Like, me and you just left our kids. Does it not feel that way?
It is so that way. Because I just said to my mom, you know, my boyfriend's here and he was talking about his past lives and my mom just thinks we're crazy. And she goes, how do you know you had these lives? Like, she doesn't.
She genuinely is interested, though, in knowing.
But I just looked at her and I said, Mom, I'm sorry. You will have to come back to Earth. You did not learn the lessons this time. And it's true. Unless something happens very quick.
So A guy came up to me at a meeting, and he's been following us, and we had a clip that kind of like almost went viral, and it was about how my dad was checking me out at a funeral. And this guy who I've known for my whole recovery, really, he runs a really tight program. I respect him. He was like, can I ask you like a question? Because I watched that, and my daughters, I think I fucked them up because I was cheating on their mom and I was fucking around. And he was like, sharing.
That's what we're to do.
And that's why we are doing this. And basically what came out of my mouth through God was like, I don't know. He basically asked me how to unfuck them. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know the answer to that, but I think because you're running a program and that you are an example of, you know, what somebody walking with God is, that you're giving them, you know, something to look up to. But I don't know. They could be.
I'm going to give you the answer because I want you to send this podcast to him, because I just did I do a line by line through the Big Book study, and I've never read this part like this.
Okay.
And here it is. So these are the 6 principles of success.
Okay.
Okay. So number 1, don't be angry with yourself or them. Just don't be angry. It happened. Just don't be angry. Second principle of success is that don't tell them what they need to do. If they're angry, you don't need to be angry. You don't tell them anything. Let them be how they want to be. Don't be a nag. Don't be a killjoy. Let them be, we said, authentic self.
Yes.
Number 3, be determined that whether they're happy or not, you're going to be okay, sir. Does that make sense? Like, whether you fucked up your daughters or not, you need to be determined that their happiness or joy or sadness is not going to spoil your relationships with what you're doing. Don't let that happen. Number 4, don't set your heart on reforming your daughters.
Right.
You can't. You can be, remember in our program, we talk about attraction, not promotion. So just attract, show them what God can do. Number 5 is be helpful. Okay. Be helpful, not critical. And let me see if I can remember what number 6 was, because I just have my pocketbook one and not the one that I mugged. Oh, here it was. Show them that you have confidence in them.
Right.
Show them. Because it says here, like, show them that you have confidence in their power to stop drinking.
Like, don't treat them like some damaged
damaged goods. Show them you can rise above anything your dad did to you.
Oh my God,
you can be anything you want, regardless of how much fuckery I sprinkled all over this family.
Yes, and I will send this to him, and that is very helpful. And what else God moved me to say is like this theory that I've been meditating on lately about how some of us have been here before, what we were just talking about. I feel like I've been here before. And when I was a kid, because I was around a lot of adults, I was an only child, and my dad had a restaurant and there was a lot of adults there. And it was a bit of a coke den, and it was a bit of a scene, and a lot of people knew it, and it was very glamorous, and it was adult things going on. There was sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I remember like a lot of the things, like I remember my dad saying, you know, oh, did you do any powder in the powder room? I remember that. I remember my dad being on the phone with a woman as I was leaving as a kid, and him being like, oh, sorry, honey, I can't see you this weekend. I've got my daughter. And I would think to myself, no, you don't. I'm leaving. So I'm seeing lying, right? And my point is, we're not talking about daddy issues and trauma. Where I'm going with this is that I was able to make those connections in what I was hearing because I had been here before.
Yes.
Because people say things around kids, but they don't think they're going to pick up on them because they have no wisdom or experience to triangulate things. But I have been here before. I feel it. I know how to make the connection. And so there was this really good Instagram, and I'll find it. And it said, when you're teaching a baby how to speak, you say mama, say mama, say mama. And then they say mama, but they don't say mama.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Okay, because they've been here before. They know how to fucking speak. You're not teaching them anything that they don't know, because why the fuck aren't they repeating the word say?
Wow, brain explosion everywhere. That's interesting.
Okay, and so we have been here before, and that's why certain things affect us as a little kid, because we actually do have the wisdom deep down inside of us to make sense of certain things.
Well, here it is. And I think we've talked about it. We're going to talk about it again. And if we repeat things, why do we need to repeat it? Because we have to remember.
Because we have the worst memories on the planet.
No, but we also have to remember. It's remembering. We have to remember we've been here before. We have to remember that we chose to come to Earth. We have to remember that we picked our parents. I'll never forget when my neighbor said that to me years ago, and I said, no, we didn't. I wouldn't have picked those people if my life depended on it. Like, are you nuts?
I know.
Now, I can tell you right now, I picked these
I know
guys.
that.
I picked them. And,
I know that.
And my kids, you picked me, you picked your mom, and it's cool. And so what are you going to learn? Like, you have to learn.
I used to wait at the
why
bus
we're
stop.
here.
I used to wait at the bus stop with my mom, and who never had a license or a car. And
I said something about that. And
God love her. And I would be waiting as a kid, like in the cold, like for the bus. And I literally would be like, I remember the feeling of just being like, this isn't my life. Like, where is my helicopter? Like, this is not my life. Like, I was like switched at birth or something. Like, that's where my mind would go. But it's like, no, you picked your parents. I picked that experience so that, I don't know, so that maybe I could worship money and then have a God-fearing experience and then understand that it's all bullshit.
Yes, that money's not real. So you've picked it to grow your soul. That's why we're here, everybody. You are here to grow your soul. You didn't come to Earth to get a new Bugatti. You didn't come to Earth you came to learn lessons and to grow your soul. So we were talking I think at the very top of it is like, you can't heal in the same environment where you got all nuts.
No, you can't. And there's one thing that you said to me, another Nikkiism, and it was, Jessica, God only has 3 answers. 1 is yes, you may have that. 2 is not now, Jessica. And 3 is I have something better for you.
That's one of my better Nikkiisms.
And it's such a good one because it's like, yeah, okay, you weren't born into a rich family, but that's because God had a way bigger and better plan for you than you have decided what you need and spent so many years focusing so hard on how to get it. And there's all these other things that would serve you so much better. And you're focusing on this like one experience that you're seeking.
And in there, so God never says no is the short answer of that, because there's only 3 answers. Yes, Jessica. Not now, Jessica. I have something better for you. But as I said, I said I do this other podcast from the reading we were just doing out of our book. And do you know how many times they talk about patience?
It's the key.
You know how many times they talk about
Do you know
patience?
how much I fucking hated you when you would talk about patience to me over and over, and no matter what my problem was, you would always literally talk about patience, and I was like, she's not hearing me, she's not listening, she keeps fucking talking about patience. There has to be a different answer. There is never a different answer.
Okay, well, there's a nice way of saying it, so I'll give Jessica another way of saying it. When your nerves are in a knot, patience can untie them. Patience can do anything. Have you ever tried them?
Facts.
There we go. That's your new nursery rhyme, parents out there. Say it to each other, moms and dads. Sing each other to sleep. When your nerves are in a knot, patience can untie them. Patience can do anything. Have you ever tried them? And then you go rock and roll version. I don't care.
Like nothing. I was just talking to my colleague about this because she was like, should I text him? Just classic girl problem. Should I text him? Should I not? And it's like, nothing bad can happen if you don't.
There we
but
go.
Something bad can happen if you do. And even if that's just you got anxiety after, you're just going to spare yourself that. You know you're crazy. You know you're a love addict. You know that you're going to put yourself into anxious detachment by doing that. So nothing bad can happen if you don't. And by the way, while you're not doing it, he could fucking text you.
There you go.
And then you don't have to text him first.
Well, it's always like, what's the worst that could happen? You get a no.
Yeah.
And then you know.
You're not going to die.
And then you know. This is about really being honest, eh? Like you said it, I think we say it every episode that being authentic, being in your highest vibration. So like, even when I see my dad, I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. It's like, it didn't work, Bobby.
Yeah. You're
What
not getting
more do you
along.
want? I've spent so much time, so much money coming to the Caribbean. Jess, last year, I don't even know if you've signed one of my friends signed that they've known him because we got his Canadian passport for him and he still didn't get on a plane to come to Canada. So I have done everything possible, including getting this man a passport to come to Canada. And I'm just done. And guess what? That's okay.
No, it's fine.
But he's your mom. He's your dad. It's your lover. It's your kids.
Mm-mm.
Oh, well. Oh, well. And I love that. My kids, my.
My.
No, we don't own anything. So, I mean, I guess the wrap up is really just get out there and explore, because you're not going to heal in the same bedroom where you were sleeping with hookers and slamming bourbon and cocaine.
Sell that condo. Call me if you need to, because you should not be hanging out there anymore. That's nuts.
No, the world's big. And there's so much out there for us, and it is exciting, Jess. And that's why I said be patient, because like I've been on my soul journey. I'm only 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You're only two and a half. You see what I mean? Like, and it doesn't negate all the years and all that stuff. That's part of our education too. Like, you never graduate, but be patient, because remember at Christmas when I told Mr. Luxembourg, get the fuck off my timeline. I never want to see you.
I was there.
You were there. And I said, I never want to see you again. Well, man, we hugged in the airport yesterday when I picked him up, because last time you drove me to pick him up, and we're just excited to go on a trip tomorrow. So like,
and I'm not here being like, wait, Scooby-Doo, you said last time you weren't going to see him again, and now he's here. It's like, no, as your friend, I have the flexibility to remain flexible with you.
Exactly.
Be flexible with your friends. If they want to make crazy statements about their love lives and then completely go the other direction like 2 weeks later, like, don't co-sign them, but at the same time, like, be flexible with your friends. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, because don't you hate when your mom throws it in your face and goes, well, you said this, and then you do the opposite.
Yeah, that was a Jessica from yesteryear. I'm sending it a rapid speed, remember? Don't you know?
Oh my God, we should end it here, because everybody, you have to come back every week to see what Jessica is like. The new Jessica every week. It's cool. It's like last week, I think, no, I guess you were okay, but a couple weeks ago, it was like, oh, that Jessica should not come back. Okay. She just get rid of her.
Yeah, I was yelling about something. Anyways.
Menopause. I love you.
I love you.